Most people never find out until it's too late. You're sitting in your doctor's office and they tell you to stay active, eat well, take your medications. Standard advice, safe advice. But there's one single number that could be the difference between you living independently in your own home for the next 20 years or ending up in a nursing home before you're ready. And almost no doctor ever tells you what it is. That number is 1.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day. It sounds simple. It sounds almost too simple. But this number is backed by decades of research. And ignoring it is quietly robbing millions of seniors of their strength, their independence, and their quality of life. I'm Dr. Thomas Reed, and today I'm going to give you the protein prescription your doctor should have given you years ago, 7 real foods, less than $10 a day, and a complete roadmap to restoring your muscle. Here's what nobody talks about. Medical schools spend 4 years training doctors to diagnose diseases and prescribe medications. Nutrition? Maybe a few hours of lecture time across that entire education. So when your doctor tells you to eat a balanced diet, they genuinely may not know that your protein needs actually increase as you age. Your body becomes less efficient at using protein the older you get. You need more of it just to achieve the same muscle building effect you would have gotten from less protein 20 years ago. The official recommendation you've probably heard, 0.8 grams per kilogram of body weight, was designed to prevent deficiency diseases. That's the bare minimum to keep you alive. It is not the amount that keeps you strong. Research published in top medical journals shows that seniors need between 1.0 and 1.2 grams per kilogram. For a 150-pound person, that's 68 to 82 grams of protein a day. Most seniors are getting 40 to 50 grams. That gap, that silent, invisible gap, is what creates sarcopenia. The age-related loss of muscle mass that steals your strength, your balance, and eventually your freedom. The good news is this is fixable, not with expensive supplements or complicated diet plans. With real whole foods that are sitting in grocery stores right now, most of them costing less than $1 per serving. The first food I want to tell you about is one that most seniors walk right past in the frozen section. Edamame. These are young soybeans, harvested before they harden, sold frozen either in their pods or already shelled. 1 cup of shelled edamame gives you 18 grams of complete protein. To put that in perspective, that's the same amount of protein as 3 large eggs or nearly 3 ounces of chicken breast. And that 1 cup costs somewhere between 50 cents and $1, depending on where you shop. There is almost no food on the planet that delivers protein this efficiently at this price point. But I know what's going through your mind right now, because I've heard it 1,000 times. You've heard that soy is dangerous, that it contains estrogen, that it causes hormonal problems. And I want you to understand something clearly. This is one of the most stubborn, most damaging nutrition myths in existence, and it is costing seniors their health. Soy does not contain estrogen. It contains phytoestrogens, which are plant compounds that have a structure vaguely similar to human estrogen, but do not behave like estrogen inside your body. In fact, they often have anti-estrogenic effects. There have been hundreds of thousands of people studied across decades of research, and not one credible study has shown adverse hormonal effects from eating soy. Men who eat soy do not develop feminine characteristics. Women who eat soy do not face increased cancer risk, in fact. Multiple large studies associate soy consumption with reduced breast cancer risk. The populations that eat the most soy, particularly in Japan, have among the longest lifespans and lowest chronic disease rates in the world. They eat 25 to 50 times more soy than Americans. Let that sink in. What makes edamame truly exceptional for muscle building is that it provides complete protein, meaning all 9 essential amino acids your body cannot produce on its own. Most plant proteins are incomplete, but soy is one of the rare exceptions. Its protein quality score, the gold standard measurement used by nutrition scientists, rivals beef, eggs, and dairy. 1 cup of edamame provides about 2.5 grams of leucine, the amino acid that acts as the key that unlocks muscle protein synthesis. Research shows older adults need roughly 2.5 to 3 grams of leucine per meal to fully activate muscle building. 1 cup of edamame gets you right into that range. Beyond the protein, edamame gives you 8 grams of fiber, 25% of your daily magnesium needs, 80% of your daily folate, iron, calcium, and powerful anti-inflammatory compounds. Chronic inflammation is one of the primary drivers of age-related muscle loss, and edamame directly fights it. A 1-pound bag of frozen edamame costs $2 to $3 and gives you 3 to 4 servings. That's less than $1 per 18-gram serving of high-quality, complete protein. Now let's talk about a food that's been sitting in the pantry of generations of families, quietly delivering one of the most impressive nutritional profiles in the entire grocery store: canned sardines. These tiny fish are absolute nutritional dynamite, and most people dismiss them without ever giving them a real chance. 1 can of sardines, typically 3.75 ounces, delivers about 23 grams of complete, high-quality protein. That's actually more protein than chicken breast of the same weight. And a can costs $1 to $2. Sardines are small, short-lived fish low on the food chain, which means they accumulate almost no mercury. You can eat them several times a week without any safety concerns whatsoever. The amino acid profile is excellent, and the leucine content approaches the optimal threshold for stimulating muscle protein synthesis with nearly 2 grams per can. But protein is only the beginning of what sardines offer. They are one of the richest whole food sources of omega-3 fatty acids, specifically EPA and DA, that exist. These long-chain omega-3s do something remarkable in older adults. They help your muscles actually respond to protein. Research has shown that omega-3 supplementation in seniors leads to measurable increases in muscle mass and strength, because these fats overcome what scientists call anabolic resistance, the phenomenon where aging muscles become less responsive to the muscle-building signals from protein and exercise. 1 can of sardines gives you 5 to 2 grams of omega-3s, a therapeutic dose equivalent to a fish oil supplement, except you're getting it from real whole food alongside protein, vitamin D, B12, selenium, and calcium from the softened edible bones. Those bones, by the way, provide 30 to 40% of your daily calcium needs in a single can. More than a glass of milk, and it comes packaged with the vitamin D and vitamin K2 your body needs to actually use that calcium properly. The third food is one you almost certainly already have in your kitchen, and one that has been unfairly vilified for decades. Whole eggs. Not just egg whites. The whole egg, yolk included. A dozen eggs costs $3 to $5. Each egg gives you 6 grams of protein with a biological value of 100, meaning your body can use virtually all of it to build and repair tissue. The amino acid profile of egg protein is so perfect that it's used as the scientific reference standard against which all other proteins are compared. 2 eggs give you 12 grams of protein for less than $1. 3 eggs provide 18 grams and about 1.5 grams of leucine, which, when combined with other protein sources at the same meal, pushes you well past the threshold for maximum muscle protein synthesis. The protein alone would make eggs invaluable, but then there's everything inside the yolk. The yolk contains vitamin D, choline, selenium, vitamin A, vitamin E, vitamin K2, and healthy fats that work in tandem with the protein to support muscle function. Choline is a nutrient most people have never heard of, yet it's absolutely essential because it's needed to produce acetylcholine, the neurotransmitter that tells your muscles to contract. Without enough choline, the signals your brain sends to your muscles are impaired. Egg yolks are one of the richest dietary sources of choline on Earth. As for the cholesterol concern, that science has been settled. The 2015 dietary guidelines officially removed the restriction on dietary cholesterol after decades of evidence showed that eggs have minimal impact on blood cholesterol for most people. One landmark study compared whole eggs to egg whites after resistance exercise and found that the whole egg group had 40% greater muscle protein synthesis, same protein content, same calories, dramatically better results. The nutrients in the yolk are not a bonus. They are essential. The fourth food is one of the most underestimated muscle-building tools for seniors, and it works while you sleep. Cottage cheese. 1 cup provides 25 to 28 grams of protein, rivaling a chicken breast at a fraction of the cost and with 0 cooking required. A large container costs $4 to $6 and gives you 4 to 5 servings. What makes cottage cheese uniquely powerful is that its protein is primarily casein, a slow-digesting form that releases amino acids into your bloodstream gradually over several hours. This matters enormously at night. When you sleep, your body is fasting. Without incoming protein, muscle breakdown begins to outpace muscle building, and you wake up in what scientists call a catabolic state. You've literally lost muscle overnight. Research has shown that consuming casein protein before bed significantly improves overnight muscle protein synthesis in elderly men, keeping the muscles fed during those critical hours. 1 cup of cottage cheese also provides nearly 3 grams of leucine above the optimal threshold, along with calcium, selenium, phosphorus, and B vitamins. The fifth food is the single cheapest protein source you will ever find anywhere. Lentils. 1 pound of dried lentils costs $1 to $3 and makes about 7 cups when cooked. Each cup of cooked lentils gives you 18 grams of protein and 16 grams of fiber. That's 126 grams of protein from a single bag of lentils for less than $3. Do the math, that's approximately 2 cents per gram of protein. Nothing on earth comes close. For seniors on fixed incomes who genuinely cannot afford meat or fish every day, lentils are not just a budget option, they're a lifeline. Now, lentils are not a complete protein on their own, being low in certain sulfur-containing amino acids. But when you eat them as part of a varied diet, which this plan provides, you get all the essential amino acids you need with 0 concern. What makes lentils even more powerful than their protein content is the fiber, 16 grams per cup. That fiber feeds the beneficial bacteria in your gut, which produce compounds that reduce inflammation throughout your entire body. And since chronic inflammation is one of the primary biological mechanisms that accelerates muscle loss, reducing it through diet is not a minor benefit, it's fundamental. Lentils also provide 90% of your daily folate per cup, 37% of your daily iron needs, substantial magnesium, potassium, zinc, and antioxidants that protect muscle tissue from damage. They require no soaking, unlike other beans. Rinse them, boil them for 20 to 30 minutes, and they're ready. Make a large pot on Sunday, and you have protein-rich meals sorted for the week in countless different forms: soups, stews, salads, curries, or simple side dishes seasoned however you like. The sixth food is one of the ultimate convenience proteins, something you can keep on a shelf for months and have a complete high-protein meal ready in under 2 minutes. Canned tuna. 1 standard can 5 ounces drained delivers about 30 grams of complete, high-quality protein. 1 can costs $1 to $2. The leucine content hits approximately 2.5 grams per can, right at the optimal threshold for maximum muscle protein synthesis. Tuna is also exceptionally low in calories, giving you 30 grams of protein for only 120 to 150 calories. That's one of the highest protein to calorie ratios of any food that exists. 1 can provide over 100% of your daily B12 needs, over 200% of your selenium needs, and meaningful amounts of vitamin D, phosphorus, and magnesium. The mercury concern with tuna is real, but completely manageable. Simply choose light tuna, which comes from smaller skipjack fish and contains roughly 1/3 the mercury of white albacore. 2 to 3 cans of light tuna per week is considered safe by every major health authority, and alternating it with sardines keeps your mercury exposure negligibly low. The seventh and final food is one that works at breakfast, as a snack, as a dip, as a sauce base, and even as a dessert. Greek yogurt. 1 cup of plain Greek yogurt provides 15 to 20 grams of protein, 2 to 3 times more than regular yogurt, along with probiotics that support gut health, calcium for bones and muscle function, iodine for thyroid health, and B vitamins for energy metabolism. The protein in Greek yogurt is a natural combination of fast-digesting whey and slow-digesting casein, meaning it delivers both an immediate and sustained release of amino acids. This makes it effective at any time of day. The key word in all of this is plain. Flavored Greek yogurts can contain 15 to 20 grams of added sugar per serving, which undermines every benefit. Buy plain and add your own fresh fruit, a drizzle of honey, or a handful of nuts to control exactly what goes into your body. Full fat or 2% versions are preferable. The fat improves satiety, slows digestion, and helps your body absorb fat-soluble vitamins. Now let me show you how to put all 7 of these foods together into a daily plan that delivers over 120 grams of protein for less than $10. Start your morning with 3 scrambled eggs, cooked with whatever vegetables you have on hand, and 2 slices of whole grain toast. That's 20 grams of protein for under $2. Mid-morning, have 1 cup of plain Greek yogurt with a handful of berries and some almonds. That adds 25 grams of protein for about $2. For lunch, build a large green salad and top it with 1 can of tuna or sardines, dress it with olive oil and lemon, and add whole grain crackers on the side. 30 grams of protein, $2 to $3. In the afternoon, steam a cup of edamame, add a little sea salt, and eat it as a snack. 18 grams of protein for 75 cents. For dinner, make a pot of lentil soup with broth, tomatoes, garlic, and whatever spices you enjoy, served with roasted vegetables. 20 grams of protein for less than $2. And before bed, half a cup of cottage cheese with a sprinkle of cinnamon. 13 grams of protein for $1. Total for the day, 126 grams of protein. Total cost, under $10. Here is what I need you to understand before you close this video. Sarcopenia, the loss of muscle that comes with aging, is not inevitable. It is not simply getting old. It is a nutritional deficiency, and like most deficiencies, it can be corrected when you give your body what it actually needs. Your muscles do not stop responding to protein as you age. They become harder to stimulate, which means you need more protein, not less, and you need it distributed throughout the day so your muscles receive a steady building signal from morning to night. Every single food in this plan was chosen because it delivers concentrated, high-quality protein at a price almost anyone can afford, along with the vitamins, minerals, and anti-inflammatory compounds that make that protein work more effectively inside your body. These aren't supplements. These aren't fads. These are real foods that generations of people around the world have eaten to stay strong. Your strength is not gone. It has simply been underfed. Start feeding it properly today and watch what happens.